All right, this is it's going to be a short topic about worship. What is worship? Why do we worship? Is worship music? Is it more than music? What is worship? Well, clearly we know that worship can't just only be music, because there are people in prison cells all over the world that are martyred, being tortured for Jesus, for their faith, that don't have the ability to worship with music, but they do have the ability to worship with their life. And I think that we have diluted worship when we brought it down to simply just being about songs instead of being about the way that we live and turning our affections and our adorations to the one who gave all. To the one who is the centerpiece of the universe, to the one who, no matter whether there's music or there isn't music, no matter whether there's preaching or there isn't preaching, He is still the King. He is still the one that we serve. He is still the one that we turn our affections to. And I think that we have gotten to a place where worship has become more about the music than it has been about the King. And I love the music and I love the King, but they do have to support. The music does have to support the King. It cannot go the other way around. We cannot begin to use our music as a tool, but we're using God as the way to promote our tool, when it should be the other way around. Our tool should be what we use to edify God. And that if we get to a place where worship becomes more about us than it does about Him, we have lost the focus of all the Gospels and all the Old Testament, where Christ being at the center of everything we do. And I think that we got to get back to a place where worship becomes more about how we live on a daily basis. In every area of our lives, do we give glory to God? Are we singing praises to Him when nothing is going on around us? When there is no supernatural stuff happening, or we're not doing anything but maybe just rejoicing with our children or hanging out at the park? Are we celebrating God's glory in everything that we see? We go back to living a life of just simple worship. Although I do love music and it does help me to kind of transcend reality sometimes, that's not what it's there for. The worship is the way that we play our instruments to glorify the King, the one who gives us the ability to do these things. And apart from Him, we're left with nothing. So then I begin to see all throughout history and all throughout life that there's not a single form of worship that God adores more than another. Yes, the worship with instruments is fabulous. King David was the one who started that. And such an extravagant worship where people were called in to worship day and night, because why? He found it upon his heart to say that you are worthy of more than I have to offer, yet I'm going to give you all that I have to offer. Or we can take it down to just the simplest form of those that are stuck in a prison cell, and their form of worship is being tortured every day for the faith, the one that they believe in, the one that they say is all in all. Richard Wurmbrand said it best when he said, if the birds of the air can wake up every morning and sing all day and all night to God, what is the excuse of the Christian, no matter the circumstances, not to give glory to God every day? So I asked myself, David, what is worship to you when you actually sit down and you actually look at it in a Bible context? It is one who picks up his cross and says, I will give my whole life to you, Christ. My plans, my purposes, my goals, my visions, my dreams, they're all yours. Just work in me what you want done. Use me. That's the highest form of worship there is. It's called obedience. It's called submitting oneself to the will of the Father. Now, like I said, I do love the songs, and I do love singing, and I do love all that. I love the lights. I love the whole deal. I love the fact that we can actually express ourselves in multiple different ways. But most of all, the most important form of worship is the giving of one's life to the one you love.